I spit Patron on this microphone. Watch out, I'm in the zone, worth for everything I own. Life is March Madness, one mistake, then you go. Yeah, I had a stroke, but your boy still rhyming. And Fresh got locked, but the squad still wildin'. Catch me in any city in the hood, we grindin'.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros are comments made by Leonard Ellerbe to Teofimo Lopez. All right, let's pull it up. This is an article from Boxing News 24. Let me just move this over. And it says, Leonard Ellerbe, Teofimo Lopez is delusional with the A side talk at 135. And so we'll pick it up from here. Teofimo is not the A side. He's not undisputed because Devin has got the WBC belt, said Leonard Ellerbe to Fight Hype about Teofimo Lopez holding 4 titles at 135. It was a tremendous accomplishment beating Lomachenko. It was the biggest fight Top Rank could make on their network. It was the biggest fight they could possibly make. But for him and his pops to make that comment, it just shows a lack of knowledge as far as the business goes, said Ellerbe about Teofimo Lopez, saying he's the A side of the lightweight division. He, Teofimo, was the B side for Lomachenko. Correct me if I'm wrong, but has he ever headlined a show before? Has he ever sold out any venues? He's a good fighter, but they're delusional as it relates to the business. Having the belts, that's great. That's a great thing, said Leonard about Teofimo holding the IBF, the WBA, the WBC franchise, and the WBO lightweight titles. But in no way, form, or fashion could he ever be considered an A side with anything that is going on over here. Ryan Garcia is a bigger attraction than he is, and that's a fact. That is irrefutable fact. That is an irrefutable fact. History will show you that, said Ellerbe about having world titles isn't the same thing as being a star or a big box office attraction. Canelo has fought GGG and Kovalev. Do you think he was the A side in all of that? The numbers did not lie, said Ellerbe. Teofimo Lopez could hurt his career if he or his promoters at Top Rank insist he be the A side in fights against Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Tank Davis. If Teofimo tries to use his 4 titles to get the A side advantage against those fighters, he'll never fight them. Teofimo will outgrow the 135-pound division without fighting any of the big names aside from Lomachenko, and he'll have to move up to 140. That's what Leonard Ellerbe had to say. But if you just watch our last segment, you realize that moving up to 140 may not be a bad thing for Teofimo Lopez. So in regards to what Leonard Ellerbe had to say about Teofimo not being the A side against Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia, Trill, what's your thoughts on that?
Hey, right on the money. He's right on the money. I feel him. I co-sign what he say. Ryan's a bigger star. I think Ryan is at 135, Ryan is the biggest star. I'm not saying he's the best. He's better than everybody. He beats everybody. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying right now, Ryan is on fire. Anywhere you put on, all the kids know Ryan. You know what I'm saying? They know Ryan everywhere. They're talking about Ryan on YouTube. I know kids don't even know that he is a real fighter. They know him. The little kids, little kids. Ryan's a superstar. You know what I'm saying? He's the man at that division. So I totally agree with what Leonard is saying as far as the ticket sales and all that. I'm not saying who's better. I'm just saying as far as star power is concerned, you know? Ryan's that guy. Right under him has to be a Tank Davis. He's promoted by the best fighter of our era, Money Mayweather. And he got that whole money promotions behind him, you know? Then after him, I think that's where Teofimo Lopez lies. So I totally agree with Leonard when it comes to negotiations, when they're talking about A side and who's going to get the more money out of them. Yeah, it's cool that you got the belts. That puts you in position to negotiate, you know, but these guys bring them out. So I think that they're going to get the A side. So I totally agree with what Leonard was saying. He's right on the money with that.
All right, G.
Yeah, I agree with everything Trill said. I agree with Leonard was talking about. The only one that I could be like Teofimo will be the A side would be against Haney, but the other fighters are clearly the A side. You know what I mean? Because they're pay-per-view battle tested. Ryan's not on pay-per-view, but however, his star power will easily translate to pay-per-view. That's like an easy no-brainer. Like Teofimo, although he got the belts by beating Lomachenko, like it's not like people like, yo, you know Teofimo Lopez, like he ain't really known like that. And then to me, it would be if ESPN could do a pay-per-view with Teofimo. Let's say I wouldn't recommend them doing this with that mandatory, but let's just say his next fight, they make it a pay-per-view. Then we could see his star power, but I doubt it with that IBF mandatory. That wouldn't be strategically smart. So just that alone, he has to just forfeit that whole argument being the A side, because it's like, bro, you're not the A side at all, and you've never proven that. You know what I mean? You just won the belt, so how can you even make this claim? You know, and so I think this goes into where people think the belts are more important than what they are. You know what I mean? Like your belts are cute, but however, like Floyd doesn't need any belts. Canelo don't need any belts. When they go and fight somebody, people gonna buy it. They don't give a damn how many belts they got. I don't even know how many belts Canelo got right now. You know what I mean? Like if Pacquiao fights somebody, people don't care how many belts Pacquiao got. They just want to see them fight. They're stars. They're already established. Teofimo hasn't been established yet, so he's clearly not the A side. I think he knows it. I think his father knows it. I think Bob Arum knows it. They just playing games right now. They're trying to use the belts as leverage, probably. You know, which I don't blame him for trying. It's worth a try. It's worth a shot, but doesn't mean you're gonna get it.
All right, Nick.
I disagree. I say he's not the A side yet because he just got acquired the belts. You know, the man hasn't. He just beat Lomachenko. His status, we don't know what his status is. We don't know what his potential is yet. So let's give the kid a break. I think he's an A side because fighters. He's a I didn't expect him to beat Lomachenko. When he did it, he surprised us. So he surprised a lot of people. So he gained a lot of fans from that fight alone. So if he takes on has another big fight next, if he fights Haney, if he fights Ryan, even if he fights Tank, I think.
Is he the A side?
Put your finger down, G. Don't ask me no questions.
Put your finger down, G.
So Teofimo right now, who's the A side?
Huh?
If Tank and Teofimo fought right now, who's the A side?
I say Tank.
All right then, thank you.
All right, he's not the A side yet.
They started off this whole thing with saying, I disagree with what y'all said. And they said, he's not the A side yet.
He's not the A side yet, but he's A side in certain matches, in certain matchups, But yeah, I agree. I'm all set.
Ned, I'm gonna let you off the hook. You know why? Because there's this video that people keep. Some people were sending a link to our channel from a video someone else made. I think like Beats and Rhymes Boxing or something like that. And I don't respond to other people's videos because like I'm not trying to have a back and forth, and I'm not trying to disrespect anyone's video. The person himself didn't send a video to us; someone else did, and basically. His argument he was trying to make is how Earl Spence isn't the A side to Terrence Crawford. But I could only listen to the video for 5 minutes when I had to stop listening to it. And no disrespect to Beats and Rhymes because I don't know him, but like I got to keep it a buck. After the first 5 minutes, he said I didn't do the research like 7 times. Then he said this. He literally said this, and then that's when I had to stop listening to him. He said the A side is the person who has the most leverage. Then even by your own standard, Earl Spence would be A side to Terrence Crawford, right? It was just, he just pulled a Ned. Like I disagree with the fact that Earl Spence is the A side, but in my argument, A side means you have most leverage. So if A side means you have most leverage, right? Then Earl Spence could fight Sean Porter again. He could fight, Keith Thurman, he can fight Ugas, he can move up, he can fight a Charlo, he can fight Canelo, right? The only guy Terrence Crawford has is Manny Pacquiao. If he doesn't get Manny Pacquiao, who else is he going to fight? That's called leverage, right? So everyone who wasted their time sending us that, or well, I should say sending me, because I'm pretty sure it was directed at me, but like, sending the video to us, your man eated himself when he said the A side is the guy with the most leverage. Who do you think has the most leverage? You see, this is what I'm getting at. And once again, in this Teofimo Lopez argument, that's what it's about. The person with the most leverage. Now, if we're talking about pay-per-view attraction and who generates the most money, then we know Tank has fought on pay-per-view. And not only has Tank fought on pay-per-view, but look at when Tank knocked out Leo Santa Cruz. Look at all the A-list celebrities that were tweeting about that performance. See, that's another thing when you bring them out. See, we always talk about, do you bring them out? Is Denzel at the fight? Is Magic at the fight? Is Mark Wahlberg at the fight? Is Rosie Perez at the fight? It's all like the A-list people who always show up at the fight. Are they at the fights? That's what we want to know. Now, when you see them at the fights, then you know it's real. But the second best thing during quarantine in remote living is, are they tweeting about your fights? Now, see, that's how we know whether or not you've reached that status. And Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia have reached that status. Now, Teofimo Lopez has one fight, Vasily Lomachenko, but that was on network television. It was on ESPN. Now, we felt like that fight had a chance of being a pay-per-view fight, but it was on regular TV, so they have no numbers. They have no history. And even in the fight with Vasily Lomachenko, Teo was the B side. Vasily Lomachenko had all the hype. I got
a question.
Yeah.
Has Lomachenko ever did a pay-per-view?
To my knowledge, no.
You see what I'm saying? What are they talking about, man?
Well, but the whole point is, this is for the people who think that the belts matter. They don't matter. Did it matter when Oscar De La Hoya went up to challenge Bernard Hopkins? Didn't matter, right? You heard what Bernard Hopkins said. Bernard Hopkins said this. I'll never forget the quote. He said to De La Hoya, he said, "You have the looks, and I have the looks," and he had the belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? He knows when he's talking. He's like, "You're the superstar. I got the belt. Let's make it happen." What was the split for that fight? Everyone claiming that the champion. That's my whole point. Y'all be sitting here just listening like, yo, I'm knee deep in this game. Like when I say knee deep, like, yo, I've been doing this, watching this, living this my whole life. So like, if I say something like, when you watch what someone says or you hear some points that someone says and you think it's a good one, just know that they're not on the screen with me and I don't get to knock it out immediately. Because if I did get the chance to do that, you wouldn't be sending me no links. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, getting back to
salute to homeboy, yo.
Huh?
Whatever that channel is, salute to homeboy. Show love. I don't even know who he is, but salute.
We show everybody love. My whole thing is like, if you're gonna send me something like, but anyways, getting back to this though, I think, and we believe this too. Bob Arum has his own plan, his own route, and I think it's a smart one. Bob Arum knew that PBC had the welterweight division on lock, so what did he do? He went and he got 135. And he went and he got 140. And now what he has a chance to do is to have the two-time undisputed champion, if it's Teofimo Lopez, at 135 and 140. Star maker. That's what Bob Arum is, the star maker, but he can't keep him, right? Can you imagine what would happen if Teofimo Lopez becomes the two-time undisputed champion of the world, undefeated, two-time undisputed. Now think about this for all you who think TC is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Would that make him better than TC? Since y'all think that having all these belts and being undisputed means something, right? Teofimo Lopez becomes undisputed at 135 and undisputed at 140. Would that make him better than TC? See, you never thought about that. Because then all those same arguments you made, because I'm a logic guy, I'm going to blow you up with them as to why Teofimo Lopez is better than your boy TC.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. I'm sure you will. And check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
We could have been flawless, flying up to make people's mouths drop jawless. How can 2 years be erased in 1 August? And you know I have my pride, so I had to get brolic. All in all, I can't call it. Just know you're my queen. Wish I was denim, cause then I be in your jeans. Can't fight fate, and you've been loving me since your teens. But when you can't move forward, you gotta wipe your slate clean.